All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh,
Yeah,
Bahasham,
shit.
Yahweh
Yeah,
Shai, Waha, Racha, Kodash. This is the brother Aina from GMS Dallas,
hey, his brother Kanat, PMS SF Bay.
Khan, and we wanted to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. We just wanted to get into a quick um, video today regarding uh, an account in the book of Daniel. Pull it up, Daniel chapter 3 and 16. And this is when Nebuchadnezzar has set up an idol, okay? And he demanded that everyone basically worship the idol, okay? And we know that, according to the Ten Commandments, that's like the first, two commandments right there. We're not supposed to bow down unto other gods. And so, being the fact that this was basically a life or death situation, that Nebuchadnezzar had put those three men, who we call Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He put them in a situation where they had to make a decision, either bow down to this god or die. The king of Babylon himself put them on the spot and commanded them to worship these other gods. And this could be related to what is to come uh, in the day, in the hour of temptation, all right, in Jacob's trouble, where we are either going to have to take the chip and conform to Esau's way and his society, okay, completely, and be completely submissive unto him, or because when you bow down to a god, that means you're submitting yourself unto that god. You're acknowledging that god as your power. Okay, and so when you take the chip, when you take the mark of the beast, then you're basically saying Esau is my God. You see, because you're making that definitive decision right there. All right, and so the men of the Lord are going to refuse bowing down to another God. Okay, they're going to maintain their integrity to the end. All right, and so Baba Kosha, could you read in Daniel the 13th chapter? You can start at
Yeah,
verse 16, because
yeah.
he basically gave the ultimatum, man. Matter of fact, start at verse 14 so we can just get the context.
This is Daniel 3 and 15. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, It is true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands?
Right. So he directly challenged the Most High. All right. He said, I challenge you. Essentially, I challenge your God, who you claim is going to deliver you. Who he's asking, what God in all the realm of the world can deliver you from my hands this day? He's saying he basically bucked on the Most High. And it's interesting because this is after Daniel had explained to him his dream by the power of Yahweh, man. All right, and Nebuchadnezzar himself made the decree that this is the God that all nations shall worship. But he's still, and he's heathen, so he's not gonna, really understand it completely. But he failed to realize that the Most High deals with the matters of life and death, man. All right, they're in the power of His hand. All right, and none can deliver out of His hand. You see? All right. So go ahead and Baba Shah, continue on.
Yeah, verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Right. So they weren't scared to boldly profess their God Yahweh, man. All right. Even though they were in the face of adversity, okay. they still what? They kept their integrity. All right? Go ahead, Op.
If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king.
Man, bro. So he's saying, look, those men are saying, look, the Lord can deliver us out of this situation if he wants to. You know? Let's see if there's some cross references there. Because that's a heavy scripture, man. You know? Let me see. Ooh, man. Oh yeah, we're gonna get that, Lord willing, in Daniel 6. Daniel 6
Okay.
in 26. That gotta come out. We'll get that later though. Or 27, I'm sorry. Let's see what else. Um Man, Genesis 18 and 14, it says, "Is anything too hard for Yahweh?" You know, this is during the time that Abraham was promised a seed by Sarah. You know, there's plenty of examples, man. All right, 1 Samuel 17 and 37, it says, David said, "Moreover, Yahweh that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine." And Saul said unto David, "Go, and Yahweh be with thee." Guess what? David also had faith in what happened. He slew he slew Goliath, man. All right. You know, there's many examples, man. All right. Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. All right. Over and over and over, we get confirmation in the scriptures that what? Those who trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are going to receive salvation, man. All right, last one. Isaiah 12 and 2. It says, "Behold,"
Okay.
it says, "Behold, Yahweh is my salvation." Okay, I will trust and not be afraid. That's faith, man. That takes extreme amounts of faith. All right, it's a lot easier said than done. But guess what? We're not supposed to be afraid. What is that in Second Esdras, the 19th chapter? I'm sorry, not the 19th. I'm sorry, the 15th chapter. Let me see if I can.
Be not afraid of these things that shall come to on the earth.
Yeah, Khan. Second Esdras. Oh dang, Blue Letter ain't got it. I gotta pull it up. Salakia.
Okay, you sure I was gonna pull it up?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. If you can screen share, that'd be what's up.
Okay, yeah, let me do that. Hold on.
Yeah, Second Esdras 15 and 3.
All right, let's finish. Can you see it?
Khan, yeah, it's a little small, but I can see it.
All right, so let me see if I can zoom it in.
Okay, yeah, Khan.
Uh, you want me to go ahead? Second Ezra 15 and 3.
Khan, go ahead, brother.
It said, "Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee."
Right, and the men of the Lord have constantly been slandered. They've constantly been scoffed at, man. Constantly been had in derision. All right, constantly being scorned, constantly being mocked, man. Does that ring a bell? Those who are constantly looked down upon, when they are risen up, everybody's gonna be like, how did they get to this position? Okay, but Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is telling us not to fear the imaginations, basically the wicked devices, okay, that are conspire, that are conceived against your good wealth, man. All right, that's that scripture that says, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. All right, and this actually applies to the men of the Lord who have faith that the Most High can deliver, man. All right. Matter of fact, I know I'm all over the place, brother, but I gotta get this in Romans, the 4th chapter. Okay, because this is basically the definition of faith right here. All right. Um, all right. So this is Romans chapter 4:19. And this is going into once again the promise that the Most High gave to Abraham. All right. And it says Romans 4:19, and being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He staggered not at the promise of the Most High through unbelief. You see, because ultimately any temptation that we go through is just a stepping stone to the kingdom, man, to achieving that everlasting life, man. That Yahweh Shai is going to be able to introduce to us. Okay, and this is something that we're not supposed to waver at if we believe that this can happen, man. Okay, it says he staggered not at the promise of the Most High through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to the Most High, and being fully persuaded that what he had promised he was also able to perform. Therefore it was imputed to him for righteousness. Okay, so that faith is basically being fully persuaded that what the Most High said he was going to do, he's also able to perform it. Okay? Because a lot of people don't believe that the Most High can deliver them out of Babylon, man. You got to believe that, man. And the strongest influence that you're going to get to have disbelief is during that hour of temptation when you're facing imminent death. Okay? Or seemingly, because the power of death, like I said earlier, is in the hand of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. Um. Yeah, Salaki, brother. I had to go ahead and get that, man. We can go back to We can
Let
go
me just
back.
read the scripture real quick.
Okay, go ahead, Salaki.
This is Hebrews 11:1.
Mm-hmm.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Yeah, I just wanted to pretty much land back on what this brother was saying about going into that faith, because kind of boomeranging back to the main topic with the three Mishael, Azariah, and Hananiah. Okay, that's their Hebrew names. In Daniel's the third chapter, they have faith that the Lord can deliver them if He wanted to, man. But they have faith in what Yahweh Shema Shai wanted them to do and not worship other gods. Okay, and that goes back to what the brother was talking about, that integrity. All right, and we learned some of the ultimate form of integrity through the book of Job. How Job, he withstood his integrity into the end, and we see that he was given a hundredfold of what he lost. And this is likened into the same things that we're going through, right? We keep our faith into the end, because he who has faith, right? He that endures, right, is going to be saved. So we have to understand, and we know that. And we're not scared of death, because the brother's going through it. Hey, man, the Lord, he's the author of death and life. All right, there's no other power in front of him or behind him telling him what to do. So if he wanted your spirit to be translated, okay, that's all what death is. Okay, it's just your translation of your spirit. Okay, because in order for your spirit to dwell on the planet Earth, it has to be held in this physical body. So once that physical body is no more, it's going to go up to the Father, man. Okay, Ecclesiastes the third chapter tells you that. How the spirit goes up, and the spirit of the animals goes in the ground. Right? But now that faith, we actually don't see the Lord physically, but we have faith in His words.
God.
Because now this is a spiritual thing. It's not a physical thing.
God, brother.
All right. You had a precept. If not, I just wanted to add that in real quick.
No, brother. I mean, shoot, that reminds me of Second Ezra's the first chapter. I'm gonna just pull it real quick, where it says Second Ezra's 1 and 35. It says, "Your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have showed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them."
Yeah, that's talking about the elect now. because we are going to fall away because a lot of the men they rejected Yahweh Shai over 2,000 years ago when they were able to see him and touch him and feel him.
God.
That's why he told. That's why in the scripture it talks about Thomas, and Thomas one is like, nah, I want to see the Lord. I want to be able to feel him inside. I want to be able to feel the holes. He said, I'm not going to believe. And then what the Lord says, he says, blessed are those who have not seen but still believe. I'm just paraphrasing.
God.
You know, why is because now we're going to come into a time where it's going to be all about faith. All the records were done away with. Okay, and then everything contrary in this world is telling us that we're not Israelites. Right? You have the Christians coming up and saying, you guys are not the children of God. Our nationality was beaten out of us on purpose. And Psalms 83rd chapter talks about that. How the nations, they were in league with each other and confederate to make the name of Israel no more.
Yep.
To be no more. And that's pretty much destroying us of our nationality.
Yeah.
So that physical not knowing who you are, that can play on your mind.
Yep.
And make you carnal.
Yeah.
But we all know that this is the spirit. This is a spiritual battle according to Ephesians the 6th chapter, and that now we have to have total faith in the Lord. Because when you read the Exodus, when we were coming out of the land of Egypt, and the Lord, He delivered us from the Egyptians. He had a chariot by day and by night, man. Okay, and that we actually saw the miracles, and we actually heard the voice of the Lord. And what did the scorners of the nation of Israel do? They wanted to go back to Egypt because they didn't have any faith that the Lord was going to deliver them. So now we have to have total faith, not knowing anything. We're not seeing chariots. That's not. We're not seeing angels. We don't have. Oh, that's the prophet. We're all one nation. We know that we're Israelites. It's no longer like that. So now it's strictly on faith. Okay.
Con. Strictly on faith, brother. Hey, and that goes. Oh, Salakia, go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say that goes right into the topic at hand. You know, that account that we're getting in Daniel the 3rd chapter, basically lines right up with that. You know, no, if you just got a carnal group of guys, man, that are faced with death, okay, literally getting burned alive or bowing down to an idol, what's it to them as they bow down to the idol? They're gonna live. But see, we're spiritual men, so we understand that that's a transgression of the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, and that's ultimately what caused us to go into these captivities that we're in now. All right, so it would be better to die, man, than to worship false gods again, man. Okay. So you want to go back, if you don't have anything else on that one, brother, we can go back to Daniel.
Okay, fine.
We were at let me see what verse. Daniel 3 and 18.
18. This is Daniel 3 and 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the image, the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Right. So his face was just grimacing. He was just like, like looking crazy because he couldn't fathom why somebody would choose to die than worship unto these other gods. You see? Because as it says in 1 Corinthians, I believe that's the 1st chapter. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. I'm going to pull that real quick. We're just going to go precept crazy tonight, brother. 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. Okay. It says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High. Okay, and that preaching of the cross, it goes into salvation. Okay, but what is required to preach the cross? To preach, Yahushua, preach the resurrection, faith. You see, faith is basically foolishness. Okay, in the eyes of the world. Okay, but unto us which are going to be delivered by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's the power of the Most High, because we're going to see the power of the Most High through that faith that we had in Him. All right, and that's exactly what's about to happen here in this example that we're reading in Daniel. Okay, Baba Kushak, could you read verse 19 again?
Yeah, it says, Then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated.
Right. So he overdosed. He said, you know what? 7 times heated 7 times hotter than it needs to be to burn these dudes up that dare transgress against my commandment. So you can only imagine what's going on in the heads of the three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, they were, I mean, they what can they do other than have faith? They had wives, children, land. Okay, these were actually these weren't peasant men. They were men. If you read earlier in Daniel the first chapter, these were men that Nebuchadnezzar had basically set up to be one of the they were in a presidential level, man. They were up in a higher caste system. Okay, a higher level in the caste system during that time. Okay, so these weren't. Say again,
It's like they were presidents.
Yeah, they were presidents.
It goes back to princes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so they had dominion. They had certain levels of power and influence. Okay, but guess what, man? They counted all that for dumb. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let me see. It's in I think it's in Corinthians or Romans. Let me see.
What does it say? Say it again.
Okay. Salakia. That's in Philippians. Philippians 3 and 8. Okay. It says, Yea, doubtless, I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushai, my Lord. And we're about to get who the Savior was in this account here, okay, which is the same Spirit, okay, Yahushai, all right, the Son of Man. Okay, let me read that verse again. It says, Yea, doubtless, like saying, certainly, definitely, undoubtedly, I count all things but loss. So your car, your house, your wife, your family, your kids, okay, your position, your popularity, okay, all things. And really on this side, we don't have any true wealth, okay? We don't have any true anything really worth enjoying. Everything is vain on this side, okay? But it says, I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge, okay? Simply having this truth is greater than having anything in the world. That's why the scriptures say, what profit, roughly paraphrasing, what profit a man if he gain the whole world but lose his soul? Because if you have the whole world and you don't have knowledge of this salvation, man, you're gonna experience destitution during the day of tribulation, which it's here, man. It's bad, man. It's basically here, man. Okay, there is no time to wait. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, if I can say something, where you said that we don't really have any true wealth here, and that's correct, because we don't have any inheritance.
Right.
And in that inheritance, it goes back to your land.
Yeah.
And we don't have any land here.
God.
Okay, and furthermore, the land here is polluted. Okay, and we were promised the land. We were promised the inheritance.
Yep.
So everything here is defiled. Okay, everything here is that's why Paul said he counts it all but dung.
Mm-hmm.
It's shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because the cell phone that you have, it actually gives you cancer. The TV that you're watching, it actually makes you blind. The food that you eat is slowly killing you. Okay? So everything in this world is shit. Even the philosophies, the woman that you're with is defiled. These are women of captivity. You know what I mean? These are actual women of captivity. Yeah. So can you read that again, Father Shaw?
God. All right. Back in Philippians 3:11, it says, "Yea, doubtless, I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushai, my Lord, for whom I have suffered loss. For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung."
Yeah, but do count them of dung. You have suffered the loss of all things, and what does that do? It makes you be more spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're not depending on the physical realm and the physical touch and I have these clothes, I have this land. It's all going to be based off spirit having faith. And that's kind of how we're going back into the lesson, is that you actually have to have faith. That's why in the book of Proverbs, I believe it's Proverbs 30, where it says, "Give me neither poverty nor riches."
Mm.
And that's why in the prayer that you're supposed to pray is you're supposed to have your daily bread.
Mm-hmm.
Because that will puff you up, basically. Okay? And make you not depend on faith. That's why the rich man, he came to Yahushua, he said, good master, what good things must I do to inherit everlasting life? And Yahushua was going through it. Oh, you got to do this. He said, I did that according to the law.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, go sell everything and follow me.
God. Yeah.
Say that. It's because you're not supposed to hold any possession in this world. And you have guys that hold possession in this world and they don't have faith in the Lord, that they're going to get they're going to get that prize, that 100-fold, so to speak, in the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And now their faith is wavered because they don't have that spiritual mind, that spiritual eye to see that everything here is done. Everything here, it doesn't matter. It's vanity. So that's what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was saying. Hey, look, you're just a man. Okay, I'm not going to worship these images. You're a man. Just my power has created you, basically, and I have a God that I'm supposed to worship, and I'm not supposed to go off and worship other gods. That was commanded by Him, and the Lord, He actually gives you those certain those instances in your life, which we all are spiritually Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, on a lower level of our day by day walk, where we get offered to worship these other gods, and we have to pretty much say no, hey, unto death, hey, I'll die.
Right.
And then it's gonna come a time when Esau gonna roll on you, man. And what do you want? You gotta take that mark. So it's all about worship. Who you're gonna worship, and we're supposed to worship the Lord.
Okay.
Now I have a scripture that I wanted to get for you, if I can bring it out.
Okay.
And this is I want to bring out the scripture because it ties in directly what we are going into. So this is Sirach 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death,
God.
and the Lord shall fight for thee.
God.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's one of my favorite scriptures. I'm not gonna, bro, because it's so straight and to the point. Like, as long as you push towards that mark, okay, as long as you try to stay on that straight and narrow path, walking on that tightrope, the Most High is gonna do the work, man. He's gonna do the work for you. I think that's in Second Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, basically where Judas was telling his men, look, like the Lord got us, man. The Lord fights our battles. He's able to deliver, whether it's in a multitude of men or whether it's just a little bit of men. Okay, because ultimately the Spirit of the Lord determines everything. He is the master programmer, per se, of this matrix that we're in, man. This physical world is nothing, man. The Most High controls the spiritual and the physical world. The physical world is like 2D. The spiritual world is like 3D. So we just on a piece of paper. You think He can't erase and redraw whatever He want when He already, controlling everything that's going on above? I mean, it's not that hard. It's milk. It's simple, but it requires faith. You see? And so we are supposed to have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that as long as we strive for the truth unto death, we don't have to do anything else. We don't have to beat anybody up. We don't have to kill nobody. We don't have to take over any. The Lord, let the Lord take the wheel, man. All right, let him take control of the situation because he is the revenger of life and death, man. Okay, or he's the revenger of the innocent. He controls the right hand and the left hand, man. And it's nothing to him, man. It's a light thing for him to deliver you out of any kind of little temptation that you might seem as, oh, it's this big thing, you know. Like it reminds me of I think that's in first or second Kings, the 17th chapter, where Elijah. It's in First Kings, where Elijah and Elisha were there, and there was basically a large host of troops around them, surrounding them, literally, to where it was just those two men, and Elisha was like, man, how we gonna be able to, man, I gotta get that, man. I think it's in it's either 13th or the 17th chapter. Let me find it real quick.
I believe it's 13th chapter.
13th chapter, right? Yeah. First Kings 13. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it in my sword. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see, 13 and no, that's not it either. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, select it, bro. Open his eyes.
It might be in 17. I know 17.
Okay. It was Second Kings. All right. Second Kings 6. Okay. Second Kings, the 6th chapter. You can start at verse. I'm gonna just read it. All right. It says verse 11. You know what? I'm gonna start at verse 14. All right. It says 2 Kings 6 and 14. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. All right. This is the city that Elisha and Elisha were in. Okay. And it says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. Okay, and his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? So Elijah was asking him, what are we going to do? I'm sorry, Elisha was asking him, what are we going to do? I mean, we're completely surrounded, okay, by these enemies. All right, they have chariots, spears, probably swords and bow and arrows, and it's just them two, right? And verse 16, all right, it says, and he answered, fear not. You see that? Fear not. Fear not. Why is there nothing to fear? Because if you trust in the Lord, he's going to fight for you. Okay? It says, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Okay? And that's talking about the angels, man. The chariots of the Most High. Let's read it. Verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, O Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord and Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Okay? And so guess what, man? Let me just read the last verse. It says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto Yahweh and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So Elisha had faith that the Most High was able to deliver him out of that specific situation. And guess what? He smote the whole host that was surrounding them. Okay, the angel of the Lord smote the whole host with blindness to where they couldn't see nothing in front of their faces, man. And it was no sweat off their nose. They didn't have to move a muscle, man. Okay. And that's what the Lord is he's going to be bringing back miracles like that to show that, look, all you got to do is have faith, man. You see? I had to just bring that out, brother.
So yeah, not beautiful. Go into that spiritual power, man. The spiritual power the Lord is going to bestow upon his elect men. Okay, because that spiritual power is ultimate faith, basically. So I'm gonna go back. I got a precept. I got a couple precepts. But I'm gonna go back to that Daniel. Because that they showed the ultimate sign of faith, and you can read about all these acts of faith in Hebrews 11th chapter. It goes into our different forefathers and how they displayed faith. So this is verse back Daniel 3:20. And he commanded that the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. So, the most mightiest men, right? You got some big, 285-pound, Babylonian. If you're looking at, look like a bodybuilder. He's expert in martial arts. If you look at it in a physical sense, now we can't beat these guys up, so to speak.
Yeah.
But on a spiritual sense, the Most High, look what the Most High can do. It says, therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto the counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? And they answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of the Most High.
God, you see that? The form of the first is like the Son of the Most High, man. And who is the Son of the Most High? Yahushai. That's why if you go to that precept that we brought out earlier, okay, it says in Philippians, I'm going to read it one more time. It says, yea, doubtless I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushai, my Lord, man. Okay, and this is the same Yahushai, okay, that was there with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Daniel, man. All right, this is that same spirit, okay? Who is the Son of Man? Yahushai, right? Okay, so it says they fell down, okay, and go ahead, I can continue reading, Baba Kusha.
Verse 26, then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Power, come forth hither.
So after he was completely astonished of the fact that they were able to survive, he's shaking. Oh my God, I see three men in the fire. Like, imagine that you got a big old cauldron and you just toss three dudes there, and they was tied up. You know what I'm saying? They were tied up. They couldn't move. All right. And now you see, four men in there walking around. You like, who was that guy? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, come up hither. They were promoted, man. They were already kings, but he was astonished. Because that was a miracle. Okay? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire.
Right. They came forth out of the midst of the fire, man. Okay? Acceptable men are made in the furnace of adversity. Now, that was a physical representation of the furnace of affliction. Okay? But we go through that on a day to day, okay, and there that hour of temptation, which is going to be that heat of the moment, the climax, okay, of this spiritual story. That's going to be that final testing session, man. Okay,
Yeah, that's gonna be the final battle.
gone.
Because within the battle, we're on a spiritual campaign,
Right.
right? To overcome, right? At the end, we know that we overcame through Yahushai, furthermore, Yahushai overcame for us. Okay, we know the end of the battle, but we still have to participate.
Gone.
And we go through different. You know how they say, "I might have lost the battle, but the war is not over."
Right.
That's gonna be the final war. Is when that brother's talking about that climax of the spiritual campaign, because you're battling different skirmishes, and it's gonna come to a point to where it's gonna be that final test of faith, and that's spiritually what happened with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Because those were their Syrian names, their Babylonian names, right? Um, so I'm gonna just give it back to you,
Gone. All right. Yeah, brother. I mean, it says, and they came forth out of the fire, man. I mean, that's heavy. They came forth of the midst of the fire. I mean, just sit there like, I mean, we reading it, but it's like, bro, that actually happened. You know what I'm saying? That actually happened. Like they came up out of the fiery furnace, man. And if you keep reading, Baba Kushai, if you keep reading, you'll see what their condition was. Go ahead, brother.
and the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was a hair of their heads singed, neither were the coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
Okay, so it says not a hair on their head. Not a hair on their head was singed, man. Singed, being burnt up. You know, if you ever get fire close to your hair, that catch fire quick. Not even one little hit them, man. Okay, Yahushua said the very hairs on your head are numbered, man, and they didn't lose one hair. They didn't lose one hair, man, being cast into that furnace. Okay, and this is the love that the Most High has for those who are obedient unto Him, man. It's way beyond what we can imagine. You'd at least expect them to be bruised up, hurt. That they got cast in that big old furnace. Not a hair on their head was singed. It says neither were their coats changed, meaning there was no ashes on them. They weren't, no coals, staining their garments. It said, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. So it was literally as if they did not even get touched at all in any way. The smell of fire wasn't even on them. I mean, they smelled it. They didn't even smell like it. This is the work of a higher power, man. I mean, you want to tell me that you read this and you claim to believe in the Bible and say that and still end up saying that there's no God, man? This is blatant proof, okay, that the Most High is working with men who have faith in Him, okay. Let's see. And if you read on in we just get the last verse. In 28 it says, then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It's proving even the heathen are going to worship the Most High when they see these prophecies become fulfilled, man. When they know who Yahweh is, okay, when He reveals Himself to the nations, okay. Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent His angel and delivered His servants that trusted in Him, that had faith in Him. Okay? What's that in Psalms chapter 2? Psalms chapter 2, it's like the last verse. Yeah, it says Psalms chapter 2 and 12, kiss the Son lest He be angry. That's the spirit. How should I keep popping up? Kiss the Son. Yeah, brother.
This is the Bible. This is Yahweh Shai, the whole book.
God, yeah, God. He's in the volume of the book, man. He's in the volume of the book. It says, "Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and perish, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him." Okay, we're supposed to put our trust in Yahweh and his Son Yahweh Shai, man. All right, not in any other power, not in yourselves. Okay, trust in him, man. All right,
For you.
go ahead, brother.
Yeah, this is Proverbs 12:21. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief.
God. There's read that one more time, Baba Kusha.
Yep. What? This is Proverbs 12:21. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief.
Right. There shall no evil happen to the just, man. That reminds me of Psalms. I think that's the 91st chapter.
Psalms 90.
Yeah, Psalms 91. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand, and 10,000, but no hurt shall come nigh thee. If you can find that. But it says there shall no evil happen to the just, man. Now is that talking about they're never gonna experience pain, or they're never gonna die, or they're never going to get a stomach ache, man? No. Okay. This talking about no destruction, utter destruction that the wicked are going to receive, man. They're not going to receive that damnation, that condemnation that the wicked are going to receive. Okay. See, in the kingdom of heaven, you have certain people who are going to experience unpleasant things, man, to say the least. All right. And those are the wicked. All right. In the kingdom of heaven, man, when everything's turned right side up, okay, we're the men of the Lord, the just, the upright, the righteous are going to be in heaven. We're going to be experiencing the earth in its fullness, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay. There's not going to be any sorrow. There's not going to be any crying and weeping and mourning of the nation of Israel. But the wicked, they're going to be filled with mischief. And who's the wicked, man? The so-called white man, Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's going to receive damnation, man. Okay, which is basically condemnation. Okay, he's going to be destroyed. All right.
Yeah, I got that scripture out.
Go ahead, brother.
It says this is Psalms 91:7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh unto thee.
Right. That it is the what? That pestilence, that destruction, if you read up one verse. Okay? Even though you're gonna see bodies everywhere, okay? In the movie, you got when you got like destruction movies, like case in point, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise in it. Okay? And that first scene where the aliens, so-called alien ships came up out of the ground and started zapping people. Okay, 1,000 people, essentially got destroyed. All right, and nothing actually happened to Tom Cruise, even all the way up until the end of the movie. Okay, but the amount of people that died in that movie was a vast majority compared to those who actually were saved. All right, and us being the main characters of this movie on the right hand side, okay, no hurt is gonna come nigh the elect. Lord willing, we're those men. No hurt is gonna come nigh us. Okay, we're not going. We may experience tribulation. Okay, to where we're seemingly put in a narrow position to where we have to make a decision between life or death. Okay, but the Lord may have it that nothing actually really technically happens to you, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, that we read in Daniel, they experienced no physical pain. Okay, even though they were in that straight gate, that position of difficulty. They maintained their integrity, man. They maintained faith, and it was imputed unto them for righteousness. And Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai had mercy, okay, the Most High had mercy, man. All right. Um, Man, we still got these scriptures.
All right, hold on. I got some. As you just said, I got the scripture. I found the scripture.
God,
Oh man, it lines up perfectly.
go ahead, brother.
I'm just gonna throw it to you.
Go ahead.
Psalms 30, and the point is in 20, but on 19 is also great too. This is Psalms 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous.
Man, many are the afflictions of the righteous, man. Okay, many are the afflictions of the righteous. Matter of fact, let's get that word. I'm gonna get that word afflictions in the Hebrew. All right, that word. The word in the Hebrew is rai. Okay, which is evil. All right, now that may seem like a contradiction. Okay, because of that scripture that what was that in Psalms or Proverbs that we read earlier. No evil shall come nigh thee. Okay, now in here, that because the word rai in the Hebrew is evil, also afflictions. Let's just expound a little bit. Bad, evil, um, disagreeable, unpleasant, giving pain, unhappiness, misery, displeasing. Let's see, sad, unhappy, unkind. All right, distress. All right, here it is, right here. Distress, misery, injury, calamity, adversity, injury or wrong. Okay. Now, many are the distresses and the calamity and the injury of the righteous. Okay, but go ahead.
It says, but the Lord deliver him out of all of them.
Right. So Yahweh delivereth him out of all, man. So at the end of the day, the Most High is gonna deliver us, man, out of such tribulations. Okay. We have to what is that in Romans we brought it out earlier, the 4th chapter. We have to believe that the Most High is able to perform that which he promised. All right, go ahead, Ak.
It says verse 20, he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken.
Right. So who's the perfect example of this? Yahweh Shai. Okay, because Yahweh Shai was beaten, scourged, mocked, spit upon, and he was catching hell in his daily life. Okay, but guess what? He kept all his bones. None of them were broken. All right. And at the end of the day, the Most High delivered him out of all of that because now he's invincible, man. He's in the spiritual realm and he's in that glorified state, that highly exalted majesty, authoritative state, man, to where he can never die now. You see? And that's the ultimate deliverance, okay? Because you might be able to be delivered out of the hand of Esau for a couple of days. Like case in point, Jake might take the chip, all right, and that might be a form of deliverance because he's able to escape Esau's. He's able to conform to his Esau's system in order to escape famine or being homeless or whatever. But ultimately, he's just storing up for himself judgments. Because at the end of the day, we already know, pursuing the Revelation, the 13th chapter, if you take that mark of the beast, okay, well, really it's in the 14th chapter, the 16th chapter, okay, if you take that mark, you're going to be destroyed, all right? And so, was there any more on that, brother?
That was it on that. I was just that scripture came to my mind because you said that we're all like this main star in the movie.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking because when you watch a lot of these movies, the main character, there's a goal at the end, and throughout the story, it seems impossible that he can get there because all these adversities comes his way. His partner might die. He might suffer an injury to his leg that sets him back a little bit. The enemy is a lot stronger than them.
Right.
Stronger than him.
Right.
Right. But we read in Psalms how no evil was going to touch the righteous. That's that ultimate evil, meaning death. Okay, in the form of what's going to happen these beginning in these end times.
Right.
In Psalm 34 it says many afflictions are of the righteous. Those are those things that you have to endure in this everyday walk, that straight walk. And some of those things you're going to suffer afflictions. You're going to suffer infirmities. And then what do? You believe on the Lord that He can carry you through that, and through that you're strengthened. Okay. And it says that none of your bones are going to be touched. Meaning the Lord, He's going to keep you through all this hell that's going to happen. All right, it's going to look like hell too. You got people dying in front of you, on the side of you. You got people taking a chip, going to concentration camps. You have all type of war, people killing each other. And the Lord is going to have that hedge around you of them holy angels because of the faith, right? The faith unto death. Because in your mind, you should be like, hey, well, look, if the Lord, He can send an angel right now just to deliver me right now, or I'm hungry, He can have a raven come bring me food. Okay? Or He can give me spiritual power to make some food right now. Right? Did not Yahushua do that? He's able to turn water into wine. He was able to increase the fish and the bread. Right? He was able to heal sicknesses. Okay? Through the Spirit, through faith. So these last couple of days, it's going to be a testimony of your faith. With that faith, that testimony, you're going to pronounce it through your actions. Because you're going to be offered a lot of different things. You're going to be offered that safety, that comfort. Right? One of those safety and comfort through the form of the chip. Like the brother was saying earlier, because you can escape the so-called famine, pestilence. You might get medicine. You might get housing. Okay, food. You're not looked at as a bug out. But then what? Then you're going to die, horrible death. Okay. So let me read that again. It says, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivered him out of all of them. He keepeth all his bones; not one of them are broken." Ultimate example, Yahushai. The other example is what we're reading right now. The three wise men. The three, they're not the three wise men, but you can say it that way.
Right. The three holy children,
That's the word I was looking for. Three holy children.
Got
it. Shadrach, and Abednego, Hananiah, Azariah, and Hananiah. I think it's in Daniel's first chapter. Let me get it right quick.
Yeah, it is. Let me see.
Daniel's chapter, so we can just Hananiah, Azariah, and let me get it.
Okay, it says Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Azariah, yep, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. That's the proper names. They displayed ultimate faith. And what did the Lord do? He actually, Yahushua came to him to save him. So that's exactly what's going to happen in these coming days, and we have to believe that. Ultimately, the Lord, He's going to come back for all of us. All right, He's not going to leave us here. I have one more precept for you. But I can get out, and then we can wrap it up unless you have something. Let me pull up. It's
in that Apocrypha.
Yeah, in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. We have many scriptures say that the things that were written before our time were written for our learning, because we look at the examples that our forefathers showed forth, and we looked at how the Lord, He delivered them, and then that builds us up and strengthens us to have the faith and that belief that the Lord can do the same thing for us, right? Because we're doing all the things that He told us to do. We have faith in Him, just like our forefathers did. We are our forefathers coming back in reincarnation. Okay, so it only makes sense that we will display that ultimate sign of faith. Okay, believing that the Lord, He can carry you through all your issues.
Right.
So
you said Sirach?
Yes, Sirach. Hold on. Okay, yep. But it goes up. It's actually pretty good up top too. Let me start at 5 actually. because you brought this up earlier. It said, this is Sirach 2 and 5. For gold is tried in a fire, and acceptable men in a furnace of adversity. There goes that word adversity also again.
Right.
And the Lord, it says that the Lord's going to deliver you. The righteous is afflictions. The Lord's going to deliver you out of those adversities, basically. You know?
That's right. That's right. And see that's spiritually what we're going through. I'm glad you actually brought that scripture out, brother, because this is the temptation that those who come to serve the Lord are expected to go through. Pursuing to the first verse of this chapter that we're in. Because it says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." All right, and ultimately, the Most High, He does this to refine us. What happens when you put gold in the fire? It refines it. It purifies it. That's what that tried. That's what that word is. Really means. It's purified. Gold is purified in the fire. Gold is refined in the fire. Okay, and the same thing are just like acceptable men are refined and purified in the furnace of adversity. You see, that's a spirit that King Solomon actually wrote this, and then he was the one who was in that furnace of adversity with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When the same spirit, because that's Solomon in the reincarnation we know as Yahweh Shai. He was in there in the furnace of adversity, okay, and acceptable men were that increased their faith, okay, that increased their faith to I mean, they were already willing to die for Yahweh, okay, but that even more so confirmed it with them. All right, and those same men are back here now, and when they go through that hour of temptation again, it's just gonna be like been there, done that. Second nature, basically. That's what we're made for. Okay, to endure during that time, to look Esau in his face and say, "Man, you thought you won, man. You ain't got it, man." The movies, man. It looked like the main character, the protagonist. It looked like there's no way he can get out of the situation that he's in. Esau got him tied down, like you were mentioning earlier, brother. He was greatly outnumbered, or whatever, and he just sit there and laugh in the face of death. Okay, that takes faith, man. Matter of fact, that reminds me of that scripture. "O death, where is thy sting?" Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 55. I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 15 and 55. Okay, it says, well, this is talking about when we're changed, of course. All right, into the immortal bodies. So let me start at verse 53. It says, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption," okay, when this carnal body shall have put on the spiritual body, okay, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Because ultimately that's the promise that we hope to receive that incorruptible body, man, that immortal body that Yahushua has received. Okay, and there's only one way to get it, man, through faith in the Lord, man. Okay, and we have to endure like this truth. The simple fact that we have this truth is gonna put the target on us, man. The simple fact that we're in this truth and we're striving towards the day of the Lord. See, the Lord didn't put us in the situation to where He gave us the truth and the world's already like good. It ain't like too much really going on as far as wickedness, bro. We are in this cesspool, man. Especially here in America, we have to prophesy. You see what I'm saying? And so that's automatically gonna put the powers of this world against us, okay? Because we're in the spirit. We're in the spirit of light, of bringing those things that are in darkness to the light, man. Okay? We're telling the world that the so-called white man, he's actually the Edomites. Okay? He's the so-called, well, he is the devil that the Bible actually goes and talks about in Isaiah the 14th chapter. Okay? In Revelation 12 and 12. For the devil is let loose unto you for a short time, man. Okay? This is the deceiver, man. Okay? This is the seed of the serpent, the wicked, man. Okay? And us pushing forth that vibration is gonna what? It's gonna basically cause an opposite reaction of wickedness to come against us. But we like whatever, man, because we know, we believe that that the Lord is gonna deliver us, man. All right? Pursuing a Sirach 4 and 28, like the brother brought out earlier. You know?
Yep. Let me go back. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. It says, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and reward shall not fail.
Your reward shall not fail. Man, bro. That's heavy. That's it right there. That's it. That's it. Ye that fear the Lord. Read that again, brother.
Right. It says, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for slack it. That's not the one.
Verse 7. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, verse 8. I'm Salakia.
Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
Okay, ye that fear Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, believe him, man. Okay, believe that he is able to accomplish the thing that he promised. Romans the 4th chapter again. Okay, because that's ultimately the definition of faith. All right, believe. That's all you gotta do. Believe and you will achieve. You know, that's all we have to do, man, and endure. Okay, go ahead, brother.
It says, verse 9, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see.
Right. Go back to the accounts and see what happened to those that trusted in the Lord, man. Go ahead.
And see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and were forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Right. That's all. That's all the Lord wants us to do, man, is call upon him and remain faithful, man. Okay? That's all he wants us to do. And he's going to go through great lengths, great, enormous lengths to achieve that, man. All right? Which includes taking the kingdom from these heathen, okay, specifically from these Edomites. And when I say the kingdom, I mean the entire realm of the world, because most of the world is ruled by the so-called white man, okay? And he's going to give it unto those that were faithful to him, all right? He's going to give it unto those that were spiritual and that remain spiritual, okay? That strove for the truth unto death, all right? I wanted to get a quick precept, brother, if I may. In Revelation 3:21, all right? It says, to him, Revelation 3:21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, I am set down with my Father in his throne. Okay? And so the one who was able to endure, okay, the one who was able to overcome the tribulation. Matter of fact, I'm interested as to what that word means in the Greek, overcometh. Okay? The word in the Greek, let's hear Esau say it.
Strong's G 3528. Nikao.
Nikao. It means to overcome, to conquer. to carry off the victory, to become victorious over what? Over all the wickedness, over all the temptations that you had to endure, man. All right. It says of Christians, of really of the true believers of Yahweh Shai, that hold fast their faith even unto death against the power of their foes and temptations and persecutions, man. Okay? To him that holds fast their faith unto death against the power of their foes and temptations and persecutions, to him, uh, it says, will I grant to sit with me in my throne. This is talking about Yahweh Shai in the kingdom. Yahweh Shai is going to allow us to sit with him and rule with him as joint heirs, okay? Even as he also endured tribulations unto death, okay? And now he sat down with his Father as we speak, okay? I am set down with my Father in his throne. He's in the heavens right now, okay? But Yahweh Shai's throne is going to be on the planet Earth, okay? And basically, the Most High is going to give him dominion over everything, man. Okay? And so us being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, this is his words here. Okay? Lord willing, we're those men. It says, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me. Okay? So he's going to allow us, that's that promise. Again, he's going to allow us to rule with him in the kingdom of heaven in righteousness, man. All right? That's why it says, to him that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit, okay? A spiritual man is going to be able to discern this, okay? But not a carnal man, okay? That's in 1 Corinthians 14. I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, and that's the herb of spirit. That's what we were talking about earlier in 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. All right, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Okay, a carnal man is not going to get this message. You're going to sit there, you can watch the whole video and say, what? What are they talking about? Because they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, neither can he understand them. Okay, neither can he have knowledge of them, neither can he be cognizant of them, because they are spiritually discerned, man. You have to have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right? Salaki, bro, I'm getting a little riled up. Man, bro.
I like it.
I mean, go ahead, Salaki.
No. Hey, brother, I had, that was perfect. I mean, I didn't have any more precepts.
Yeah.
But hey, pretty much, we can wrap the lesson up. We can hit the points, beautiful precepts. But basically, having faith into the end, and that we have a lot of examples of our forefathers, right? A lot of examples of our forefathers that we can take heed of and learn off of how they displayed faith in a time of tribulation. And how we have to display faith in the ultimate time of tribulation, which is going to be that Jacob trouble, that physical hour of temptation. Okay, when that furnace, we're already in the furnace. When that furnace is heated up 7 times, and that word 7 means completion. So it's gonna be turned up to the highest amount during that time. But also, our daily walk, we have to go through that furnace of affliction. Right. And like I said, gold. When you try gold, or you prove it, or you test it, those are all similar words. Okay, they coincide with each other. You put it in there, and you burn out impurities. Okay, then you put it back in water, then you put it back in the fire, and you go through that process over and over again until we're fully perfected. Okay, when we're changed and we get those immortal bodies like the brother was talking about, man. And that's one of the promises that we're going to receive, is getting those super angelic bodies, man. Okay, to be able to still be in a physical realm, but still have spiritual power, man. That ultimate body that Yahweh Shai has inherited. And we're going to get the same thing. Notwithstanding, we have to go through all those turmoils, all those afflictions, all those infirmities. But through that, our faith is tried and it's made stronger. Okay, but we have to have faith into the end, even though Esau he's going to come. And the beautiful thing about it is that we have the scriptures to tell us what's going to happen.
Okay.
So now you have no excuse because you've seen through this example how much faith was shown with with Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. Okay, how they were thrown into that furnace, that physical furnace, and heated up, and the Lord came to save them. So the Lord, He's going to do the same thing with us in these last days, and even starting right now. So I don't have nothing else to say, brother. Do you have anything else to say? You want to end it off?
Come on, brother. We can close it with this scripture right here in Acts the 14th chapter.
Okay, done.
All right. This is what Paul was teaching to basically the Israelite foreigners. Okay. This is Acts 14 and 21. It says, "And when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and to Antioch, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them." Okay, basically confirming them in their minds, charging them, letting them know for 100% fact. Okay, exhorting them to continue in the faith. All right, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Okay, it's going to it's going to be painful, man. All right, it's not going to be pleasant. Okay, but the reward is so much farther to be valued, man, than the cost. Okay, all right, because ultimately everything that we go through on this side, all the hell that we catch and all that, I mean, we really deserve it, man. All right, we really deserve it, man. So just want to exhort brothers to continue, of course, continue in the faith, continue pushing on, man. Did you have anything else, brother?
That was it, huh?
Khan. All right, so hey, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rahak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.